brass sure is coming out of there erratic. Hello guys and gals, Buffalo here. Got yet another 22 LR chambered pistol to show you guys today. This is the Walther P22. Last week I covered the Walther PPQ in 22 LR, and in that video in the comment section had a lot of questions, a lot of comments asking if I liked or what I thought about the Walther P22. So that's what we're looking at today. That's what I've been shooting. I've been shooting it the last couple of weeks. This belongs to a friend of mine. Wes sent this over. I always appreciate my friends helping the channel out. 99% of the guns that I show you guys on this channel either belong to me, a family member, or my friends. I'm not on any of the manufacturers' marketing teams or anything like that. They don't send me new guns generally to show you guys. I have gotten one or two over the years, but very rare. So I depend on my friends and my family members to keep the channel going. And just so happened when I picked that Walther PPQ in 22 up was about the same time that Wes hollered at me and said, "Hey, I've got a P22. You want to go, take a look at it?" Of course, I'm always going to say yes. I want to shoot every gun that I can. I want to share every gun I can with you guys. I want to pull every trigger that I can. Life's short. I want to shoot them all. But what I wanted to say before we get started, though, was that this gun is not a new gun. It's not built in 2020, is what I'm trying to say. This one, I think, is about a decade old from the date stamping on the barrel. It seems to be a 2008 or 2009 build. So Walther has made some changes since this pistol came out. So when I'm talking about this pistol today in this video, just keep that in mind, that some things have probably changed from what I'm telling you in this video about this gun. I know they've got the P22Q out now, and it's got some fresh updates. It's got a captured recoil spring and guide rod assembly. This one does not. It's got a decocking safety. This one does not. Just has the hammer block safety. I know it's got some extra slots on the accessory rail. I think it's got a Picatinny rail on it. This one just has the one slot. So a lot of things have changed, and I don't have one of the new models, so I can't compare it. I don't know what all exactly has changed. I just want you guys to keep in mind that when I'm talking about this gun, some things have changed since this gun came out. But like I said, I don't have a choice. I can't go out and buy every new gun that I can to show you guys. Sometimes we're taking a look at older guns, used guns, and I think they need coverage too. So let's go ahead and head down to the range. I'm up here by the farm right now. The range is a few hundred yards back that way. So let's pack up, head down there, and give a rundown on this pistol. Okay, I'm gonna try to run through this pretty quick. We'll start out at the top and work our way down the gun here. We'll start out with the sights. It's got your standard 3-dot sights. There's the back, there's the front. The rear sight is adjustable for your windage. You can see a screw right there. That's going to adjust your windage. It is not adjustable for elevation. What they've done, they've included several different height front sight posts in the box, and that's how you adjust your elevation. You just change out the front sight posts. You can see this one's got a number on it. They're all numbered, so you can keep track of which one you've got in there, and each one is going to change your point of impact as far as elevation goes. Not the way that I would prefer them have done it, but it is a means to an end. It does work, but it is just something else to keep up with. You can lose those sights pretty easy, and I prefer a fully adjustable rear like on most of the other 22 LR semi-automatic pistols today. Just so much easier. But anyway, we'll work our way on down. The slide is a zinc alloy. I thought it was an aluminum slide, but from what I've read, it's a zinc slide. Does have a loaded chamber indicator in the form of a peephole right here. You can look down in there and see if there's any brass. If you see brass, of course, it means the chamber's loaded, or at least has some brass in it. You can see here the gun has been cleared. Probably should have showed you that at the beginning of the video, but I suspect most of you guys realize that I do clear the guns before I start the video. Safety is fully ambidextrous. You can operate that from either side of the pistol. It is a hammer block safety. What it does, it rotates that little notch right there is your firing pin, and it rotates a bar. I know you can't see that, but it rotates a little bar up to where the hammer can't come in contact with the firing pin. So it is a double action, single action pistol, meaning most people will load this gun, put it on safe, decock the hammer, carry the gun like this. Then when they want to shoot it, they'll take it off safe and just pull the trigger, and the gun will cycle, will cock the hammer and fire. That's a double action. I'm going to put the safety on. You can actually, the hammer will work with the safety on. So I'm not actually dry firing because the hammer is being blocked from striking the firing pin. The reason I say that, a lot of people don't like it when you dry fire a rim fire pistol because the firing pin can protrude and strike the edge of the chamber and cause a lot of problems. So with this gun, I've got the safety on. The hammer can't hit the firing pin. So just want to explain that. But here's your double action. That would be your first shot. Then the gun's going to cycle. Trigger reset. Very short reset. Right there. Trigger's going to reset. Now your second shot, your hammer's already cocked. So that's called single action. The trigger does one action, a single action. That's release the hammer. Action's going to cycle. Same thing over again until you run dry on your magazine. So that's why we call it double action, single action. Moving on down, it is a polymer frame, has a keyhole lock. You can lock the gun up and render it unoperational. It comes with a key that's in the box over there to lock the gun with. Not a feature that I would ever use, but some of you may be interested in that. Some people out there might use it. I don't know. Just not nothing that I would ever use. I'm going to turn the ISO up a little on this camera. Give me just a second. How's that? Running out of light there. So there's that keyhole lock. Moving on down, magazine release is a paddle style magazine release located at the rear of the trigger guard. Ambidextrous again. You can operate that with your index finger or your thumb from either side of the gun with either hand, whichever hand you shoot with. The slide catch is not ambi. It is located on the side of the gun for a right-handed shooter, but the safety and the mag release are. Speaking of mag release, and by the way, they call that a European style, I guess, magazine release. I thought that would be weird to get used to, but it's actually not that much different. You know, the American style magazine release would be a button right here, but it's not that much out of the way. Didn't take just a few magazines, and I was actually getting pretty used to that, so not as big a deal as what I thought it would be at first. I was like, you know, I don't like that. But the more I shot it, the less it became a deal, the less it became even noticeable. The magazine itself, steel magazine. You've seen these style of magazines before. It looks a lot like the PPQ magazine. These are 10-round magazines though. Walther updated these magazines several times over the years. This one has the B on it. There was a magazine with an A on it before this one, and then one that didn't have a letter. So they've updated these P22 magazines over time to cure some running issues that they had. These seem to work really well. From what I've shot of the gun, it is mostly reliable. Now, I do have a bobble now and then. These guns have been around long enough, and they're actually really, really popular. Lots of these have been sold, and you get a lot of mixed reviews on this pistol. You have guys that hate them to guys that say they're flawless. Now, the truth is always somewhere in the middle. So you guys that watch the channel know I've got that full-size M&P 22. I've got the Taurus TX22. I've got the Glock 44. And then recently I've got that Walther PPQ in 22 LR. And I probably get on average a few more jams with this one than I do with any of those others. This one really likes the higher velocity ammunition. The CCI mini mags, it runs great with those. Of course, any of those other pistols will as well. But when you get to the bulk ammo stuff, this one seems to have more problems. Even though it is high velocity, the bulk ammunition I use is high velocity ammunition, but it still has a few more problems than some of my other 22s. That's all I'm trying to say. Not in a way that makes the gun, like, doesn't make me hate it or doesn't make it unbearable to shoot or anything, but I do have a few more malfunctions with this pistol than I do on average with my other ones. I think I'll take some pop off the street. Okay, I'm going to walk you through a quick field strip of this little pistol. It's really easy to take down and really easy to take care of, actually. First thing we'll want to do is remove our magazine. I wanted to show you guys this magazine release really ejects those magazines. Shoots them right out of there. I like that. We'll want to check and make sure there's nothing in the chamber. This one is clear. We are okay to move on. This is your takedown tab. It goes all the way across the frame to the other side. This one's really stiff to pull down. So what I found is if I take my fingernail at the top of this tab and at the top of the tab on this side and push down, it makes it a lot easier. It'll push right out. So with the tab pushed down, we'll push our slide all the way to the rear, raise it up enough to clear the barrel, pull it forward. There's our slide. Here's our recoil spring. It is not captured. Be careful with it. I just dropped the guide rod out of it. Again, it's not a captured assembly, so be careful not to lose anything. That's about it. You can get to your bore there, make it easy to clean, brush everything off. That's about as far as you would need to go in most cases. The barrel is a 3.4 inch barrel, and it is threaded. You can get an adapter and thread on there and run a suppressor. I'll go ahead and show you those barrel threads while we're down this far. It comes with this little wrench that fits that thread protector slash barrel tensioner. Loosen that up. So there's that. Got a little rubber O-ring on it to keep it from shooting loose. Here's your barrel shroud. And here's your barrel. Just slide right out. It's supposed to just slide right out. If it can go wrong on camera, it will go wrong. Here's your barrel. There's a look at that little threaded barrel. But that's all there is to it. Putting it back together is just the opposite as we took it apart. Drop the barrel back in. The barrel shroud has a little notch right there. Camera doesn't want to focus for some reason, but it has a little notch cut out that goes down and toward the chamber. And when you feel it drop in, you'll feel it drop into that knot right there. Clicked right in. Put our protector back on. It'll tension the barrel against that shroud. You don't have to get too crazy with the torque here. Just snug it up. That should do. Now, the next part's a little bit tricky. Drop your guide rod in. Your recoil spring goes over the guide rod. And it is really hard to maneuver this, to finagle this slide onto here without binding up the recoil spring. So Walther includes a little tool. You can do this without the tool, but I'm going to show you with the tool. That's the easy way. You can drop this tool down inside the recoil spring and on top of your guide rod, just like that. It sticks out really long. There's a hole in your slide. That tool should go right through that hole in your slide, and that tool will drop out once we get it started onto the barrel. Just like that. Bring your slide all the way to the rear, press it down, let it slide forward. You're done. Almost done. Push your takedown tab back up. Now you're done. That's all there is to it. Now this little pistol does have a magazine disconnect safety, which means it will not fire unless the magazine is inserted into the gun. It's on safe now, but even if I move it to the fire position, it will not fire. Unless, I'm going to put it back on safe. If I install a magazine, now it'll drop the hammer. So it does have a magazine safety disconnect. Not a big fan of the magazine safety disconnects. I like to be able to fire a round even if I lose my magazine. I like to be able to make a single shot out of it if I had to. Not a big deal on a little 22 pistol like this, but it is something I wanted to mention. Alright, so that's pretty much going to bring us to the end of the video here. Final thoughts on the Walther P-22. It's a good little pistol. ammo picky. Didn't like any of the bulk ammo I was shooting through it. You guys saw the shooting footage at the first of this video. You saw that it wouldn't want to go into battery. I was having to help it get itself back into battery. That was with the bulk ammunition I was trying, which was Agula Super Extra. I tried some Remington Golden Bullets. I tried some Blazer, 40 grain Blazer, some Federal Auto Match. I tried quite a few different ammos with this pistol. The only thing that it would reliably cycle was the CCI mini mags, and even then I had a few hiccups. And I know if you watch that shooting footage at the first of this video, you're going to notice that all those malfunctions were when I was shooting the gun with one hand. But actually it happened a lot more than that. I just didn't want to make a 30-minute video. I'll roll in some footage right now and you can see that it was happening when I was shooting with both hands as well. The gun's just ammo picky. Some 22s are that way. They only like certain brands of ammunition or certain loads of ammunition. Now, just being straight up with you guys, 15 years ago, I would have been a lot more excited about this pistol, and I actually was pretty excited about it. I never did get to own one, but I always had my eye on one of these. They had a lot more of the market share for a full reciprocating slide 22 pistol with a threaded barrel. It was, you know, there were others out there, but this had not nearly as many as they are today. That's what I'm trying to say. You know, you got a lot of competition now, and these go for under 300 bucks, but there's even some pretty stiff competition under $300 in that price range. So they don't have as much of the market share as they used to in that category, and the competition has gotten better. So, but that doesn't keep this from being a good pistol. It is a good pistol, and it's a very influential pistol. The Ruger, the little Ruger hammer-fired SR-22. I mean, I don't want to say they copied it, but this pistol greatly influenced that design, to put it nicely, I guess you would say. So, it's a very popular pistol. It's an influential pistol, and just you know, it's a good pistol. I'm not going to say it's a great pistol. There's a lot of other ones that I would choose before I chose this one for my needs. Now, you may be different. You may have this may fill a niche for you that you really want. But I'm just here to share my opinions with you guys, and that's the way I see it. But that's about all I've got for today, and I'll talk with you guys again soon.